Yeah. uh-huh. Yeah. Shit. Grams leaders CC's pounds. Close cash, close call, close encounter, close up, pounds up, leaders up, grams, get your dosed up, cut this up, host up, and get dosed up. This for them voted like the movement, make the most of. Monday night at 8, I can't wait to set you straight. These opinions and debates, for them folk they can't relate. I gotta elevate your mind through these signs of the time. Dishing out that medication for that deaf, dumb and blind. And I ain't hard to find, you can catch me in no trenches. I drew the groundwork and I ain't waiting on no sense. I be touching on them topics, politicians fail to mention. And I don't vote for nobody that ain't got good intentions. I'm relentless for my people and I'm here to make a change. I got that true serum hooked directly through your veins. Hey, this is for my people, tune in, catch a close up, close up, close up, a close up, grams of it, 2 liters of it, close up, pounds of it. Pounds of it, yeah, grams of it, liters up, pounds, get you dosed up, 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 dosed up. I'm waiting on a pow, so pow, 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 boom, hey, make my own sound effect, pow, 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 there you go. But they say, hey, gra, as they be saying, yeah. It's another Monday night, y'all. You know, we still got Lab, you know what I'm saying? He on deck. Right. Even without the sound effects, we live. we gonna do this thing.
It shorted me out today. It stalled me out today.
You know what I'm saying? But the show is called Dosed Up, y'all. Right. So, you know, a weekend recap. This was a slow weekend. Man, I ain't do nothing but just mind my own business, to be honest with you. Get last minute fine tuning on some songs in. Just been critiquing myself. Oh, I heard a little something sound like a little snare, a little pea shooter, little water gun sound effect.
We gonna get it out today. We gonna get it out one way or the other.
At some point. But yeah. So this is fine tune time and critique time, where I sit back and kind of like listen to what I just did, and I'm like, man, hey, I can't find nothing wrong with that thing. I just been jamming.
Okay.
And so now, that's led into the next few things I'm gonna do. I was actually listening to the tracks on the way out here.
Okay.
Yeah, them things beating in the car, so I'm gonna put some lyrics to them either this weekend coming up or soon.
Say one way or the other.
Oh yeah, one way or another.
Okay.
And like I say, I'm feeling like Dose. You know, shout out to my boy Chris. We about to start cleaning up. You know, here we go. That's obligated to EOTE. You know what I'm saying? We about to crank up some more skits. So I feel like I'll break the character out today.
Okay.
And you know, let's just go ahead and get into this topic, bro, because it's election time. So what's on my mind is, man, I'm kind of like where we headed with this in the future as far as politics are concerned. The way I see the society might be going. The word dystopian comes to my mind. Not Democratic, not Republican, but dystopian. A dystopian society. And if you don't know what that is,
tell it to us. Tell us what it is.
All right, it's kind of like, basically, it just says a state of society where there's great suffering and injustice, pretty much. Yeah. And I get that because we gonna piggyback off of a little bit like last week's episode with them robots and things like that, which will probably be restoring some order, the way I look at it in this dystopian society coming up. I do have right now, there are actually some things that's going on in real life that kind of mirror that, as well as movies that we've seen in the past and that are current that's projecting where this thing is going.
Movie part is the good part.
Yeah, that's the good part. Cause see, you know, the part where I'm asking and I'm talking about being holding politicians accountable for what you're voting for, that seems to be kind of like the boring part of it. But you know me, man. Right. I'm just saying, like, I'm looking at what's in office now,
right,
as opposed to what we're asking for, as opposed to what we're voting for, what's already going on. All right, so just to give you an idea of something that could possibly be dystopian that's already happening right now would be
Arresting homeless.
Okay.
Like, not being able maybe to like sleep on the street, but you have no place to go, and next thing you know, an armed guard just comes up and like, you got to move it.
Okay.
So that right there. Oh, but see, that necessarily might not affect certain people, but it could affect the displaced. Like, let's just say you're displaced or considered homeless because of a natural disaster.
Okay.
Or let's just say you're displaced or homeless because of a particular epidemic and you lost your job.
Okay.
Now you're damn near what? An enemy of the state or a product of the state just because you don't have income and you don't have a place to stay.
Mm-hmm.
But you voted.
Okay. Okay. So let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go down this rabbit hole.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get a shovel.
So when we talk about homeless and we're talking about a dystopian society, do you think that, because a lot of people get when they talk about elections and the presidential elections, they look over the local part.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a federal government issue when it comes to homeless, or do you think it's a state issue?
I think it's a society issue, because what we consider homeless over here in a third world country could be some of the same thing, like people just without. You see what I'm saying? Poverty. It's across the globe.
Right.
And the reason why I'm talking about dystopian is because if you can make USA dystopian, then now you pretty much it's a one world type thing, bro. Which is where we're headed anyway. That's why I said dystopian society. I didn't say dystopian country. I said society. Society to me expands Georgia and in the US. Society, we got society across the globe, don't across the pond, so they say, don't you?
Right.
It's humans across the pond, right?
Right.
So it's certain things that's affecting everyone across the globe.
Okay.
Meaning incremental weather.
Okay.
All right, so we voting, right? And the key thing that people are that you got the Democrats saying is we want to tax the bigger corporations, right? Okay, so you taxing them, right? But are you stopping them from production? Because you might tax them, which I doubt you do. Or are you going to tax the ones that bankroll your campaign? And let's say you still tax them, but you don't stop production. And like I say, we ain't at 1 degree global warming no more. We at 3 degrees, and like you said off air, we going to 5 degrees. So we voting on some tax, but you ain't really saving us or saving the planet with this tax. That's skeptical anyway.
I think that the tax part is when we talk about taxing the wealthy corporations and taxing the rich. I don't think it's necessarily to stop global warming, but it is to help with what we just talked about previously, maybe a homeless society, maybe from the middle class becoming homeless, because we look at blanket things when we talk about taxing people, and to be honest with you, those blanket taxes don't necessarily cover everything we would want them to cover. But I don't think that they're going to stop them from producing, because if you stop them from producing things that mess up the climate, then you won't be able to get that tax revenue that you're claiming that you're going to get.
Here's the thing: does money make a difference to those people that like okay? When the polar cap's about to melt, money ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like at some point, lives in the population have to supersede whether you want to tax somebody some money or not. Like, money ain't the end all be all. Y'all, they ain't gonna do nothing anyway but change the form of currency in this dystopian society that I'm about to talk about anyway.
Yeah,
so
but it does. But money does help to maybe. I'm not gonna say prevent, because it can't prevent it. But I want to say maybe slow it a little bit. When anything you do to try to help or prevent something, money is always involved. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. And I think a lot of times, we get to this point to where we think that it's going to solve all problems, and it doesn't necessarily do that. Especially when you're talking about a dystopian society, because there's so many things wrong in a dystopian society, and money probably won't be worth anything in a dystopian society, that it probably will make things worse, to be honest with you, because we're talking about a society that doesn't have a value on certain things, and I think money is going to be at the top of that list, because you can't do anything with it.
Guess what you're going to do? All right, so these quote unquote robots will devalue a human, to be honest with you, because if we're no longer needed at work, our value, first of all, we're invaluable to me, but our value is in either in labor or what we can make. They don't look at the value as in our, you know what I'm saying, brain power. Now, I will say this, though, them billionaires look at the value in the youth in as far as their blood. Right. With these transfusions and all that. We'll give you that's me. Bruh. Well, dystopian society is coming, y'all. Right. And these big corporations, the ones at the top trying to be immortal. So you have to understand right now, basically, we're the experiment. This is the beginning stage of what the future is getting ready to be like. So we're totally expendable. We are the experiment. The voting process, all of this is the experiment. Because when you get past all of this stage and you have to hit the reset, and they realize that you have two political parties that are the main things, and they're fighting, and neither one of us can help because of that, then they're going to eradicate that, and now you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck with a corporate. Damn, boy, that smell again.
You gotta be stuck with a corporation controlling everything.
Yeah, my bad, y'all.
So let me ask you a question, though. Well, let's go back to you talking about taxing those corporations. So do you not think that taxing the corporations would be a good thing to prevent a corporation from taking over things that may necessarily be for our everyday needs?
Here's the thing. You do realize the people that they want to tax, they spending $28 million on a ticket to have fun, bruh. So that's what I'm saying.
But if you tax them enough, they won't be able to afford that.
You're not going to be able to tax them enough before they do some damage with whatever they got going on.
We want to think so, but you know the problem that we're at now is because it takes so long for a dystopian society to take effect, and the processes.
It's not taking that long. Half of it's some of it's in effect now.
No, I'm just saying the process from beginning, from when you start thinking about it to the process of when you're in it, it takes a couple, maybe 20 to 40 years for that to happen, because you have processes, laws, and things that you have to get rid of in order for that to take effect.
So here's the thing: the way they making money now, they're ramping this stuff out quick. Okay,
true.
So if they want robots out by 2025, that's some months from now, bruh.
No,
they already out now anyway. That's the point.
Say, well, it's today.
Like, see, okay, you don't have. All right, now hold on. The chemical warfare and all that's already been done, bruh. The moves have been made on the chessboard.
Well, we're always the guinea pigs when it comes to stuff like that. We can't say what it was, but because we don't want to get cut off. But we're always the guiney pigs when things are being tested. We just don't know it. I mean, you think about chemtrails. Some of it we do know. About chemtrails and all that stuff. You know, people when they see how those jets flying over us and the stuff is spraying out the back of the jets. Where's that stuff falling to?
So my thing,
the atmosphere burn it up, or it's not high enough for the atmosphere to burn it up. It's up by the clouds, and if the clouds create rain and you're flying a jet over in the clouds and it's spraying chemicals down on us, it's going to come down on us just like rain. Unfortunately, it's just going to be small particles of rain.
I mean, if they don't do it, whatever they can't do in the air, they'll just do on land. They'll do it to the water source.
But they start on air. They start testing us on air.
Hey, they water sources too.
Yeah.
Don't forget about that.
I think
body.
I think the air is easier to do because you
can't see it.
You can't taste it either as much. Like water, you'll be able to taste.
Who knows what happened with that plant that just blew up?
Right, true. That was stuff in the air. How did that happen?
Man, look, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just to the point where, like I say, I'm focused on the dystopian part simply because
give me an example of
to see the audacity of what's going on.
Give me one
cloning
example
would
that
be
everybody can understand of what
cloning is part of that. Robots are part of that.
Okay.
How can I say, looking at Black Mirror, those are, you see what I'm saying? All right. Getting ready to, let's just say, computer chips. How can I say it? If you look at, all right, food source. Okay. So right now, at the beginning of this, we would say Remember when some years ago they were like X amount of cattle had to be destroyed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know the long-term effect of that right now?
No.
Okay.
It was at one point meat shortage.
Okay, that's just one blip.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And you forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
But who's to say what people were surveying and watching and seeing to see how what we would do?
What we would react to it.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay. Did we just not go through a pandemic?
Right.
Did we just not go through a curfew?
Right. Right.
Bruh.
To see how we
Like
want
I
to
say,
do
man, this is the man, like I cannot stress this enough.
Right.
That we are living it in real time, bruh.
We're being tested with it.
Living through it.
I always
to
tell
live
people,
through the testing.
I always say to people, they want us to be inside anyway. Why do you think movies don't even go to the movie theaters no more? They come right on cable when they release them. Because they want us to be inside. Why do you think Uber Eats and DoorDash and all those things come right to your door now? Because they want us to stay inside.
All right, so
Except
TV,
for working
right?
From home, and the corporations got to get on. They got to get the corporation on that program of us working from home more. They want us to come back to the office.
Speaking of that, so in a dystopia society, if you are watching media or something, it's gonna be a program. All right, a program to get you to do something, or a program to keep you
on repeat.
All right, so right now, right? Scroll. What are we talking about off air? All right. Single parenting ain't new. Didn't we have that in What's Happening?
Right.
A program way back then. Okay, that adopting us ain't new. Didn't we have that in Different Strokes? Okay, look at these Tesla cars, right? Didn't you have Knight Rider talking, driving itself?
Most definitely.
Bruh, so none of this stuff is new.
Right.
But we live in it, right?
Instagram pausing us.
They are?
Yes.
Hey, man, look here, bro.
Instagram pausing us.
They can pause me, man. What? It's too real?
Hey, they pausing us.
Well, hey,
keep
look.
going.
I'm finna. Hey, yeah. Look.
We'll work through it.
All I'm saying is okay. It's funny because that's a dystopia too.
Right.
Censorship. Now, all I said was, if you look back to a show that they actually played, and you want to pause a brother for mentioning the show that's been aired, you see what I'm saying? They really be playing with folk. It's words that you could say 10 years ago that you can't say now.
Right.
What kind of sense does that make? It's still in the English language.
Right.
So, man, come on. Dystopia, censorship. That's right here, right now. We living in it. And you said it's coming years from now? Man, look at what I got to do. Use sign language?
Do you think that we're living in it, or do you think they're testing us for it? To see how, you know how you have you gotta have a stress test.
Okay, just like how medication, you can wean somebody off of it, or how you give them small milligrams and small doses. With small dose, every 50 years or something like that.
Let's say they'll say, okay, let's
bump
do
it
this.
up.
Let's do this. Then they'll do it. Then we react a certain way to it, and they be like, nah, we can't do it that much. You get what I'm saying? The stress test.
Well, look at it like this, right? Does anybody during this voting process care or ask about the Space Force, or what is it even for?
Nobody even mentioned this. Nobody even mentions the Space Force anymore. But it's a real thing. It's really there. What is it for? You're exactly right. Nobody even talks about the Space Force.
Well,
it has been put to the side, but it's a real government agency.
Okay, anybody ask a presidential candidate about CERN? And how it's regulated and governed, and how often do things they do experiments or activate, these would be things I want to know.
Right.
I'm just saying, bro.
Nobody knows what the Space Force does. Nobody knows who regulates the space. Who's over the Space Force? Who's to say it's the Space Force? You get what I'm saying? You can name it one thing and have it do other things.
But it exists.
Right. And it exists. So you are exactly right. No one is talking about those things because it's not something that's mentioned in the news on any time, which I'm going to give you a good example. We talk about programs giving us micro doses of stuff, giving us information that they want us to obtain, to want us to hold on to change our mind about things. You know, You know, we're
Mind
gonna talk about
blowing.
Apple.
Uh-huh.
Apple had a computer way back when Steve Jobs was a part of it,
Mm-hmm.
where he had a commercial when the I forget what it was, the iPod or whatever first came out,
Mm-hmm.
where the commercial was based off of Dystopian Society,
Yeah.
where it was just a big TV screen
Mhm.
repeating stuff over and over and over and over again, and the people were shuffling in and out, in and out, in and out, looking at this, and this was back in 1984.
Well, look at us now, chained to our cell phone.
Right.
That's some dystopia to me.
Right.
You have a device, and you take it away, and what happens to us?
Right, but you know that they
And
have,
they're only going to go further than this.
oh yeah,
And they're
because-
actually trying to put you in it or link it to you.
not only that, but you know that they're working on ways to where, let's just say your phone, let's say you're not on social media,
Mm-hmm.
and your phone just pops up with a message, or your phone pops up with a commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Where so, like, say if you just have your phone in your hand, or
Uh-huh.
you have your phone on your table while you watch TV, the commercial pops up on your phone. You're not on social media. You're not on anything. They're just sending that information to you directly to you. You know how they do that? You know how they're testing that system? This is gonna sound real crazy to people. Amber alerts.
Man, okay. Well, you're right. I mean,
Slick says that the Space Force is through NASA.
well,
Eh,
another thing I
I
want to
thought it was
know
through
though
the Air
too,
Force though.
like they slick got that draft going, right?
Right.
So did anybody vote for that? Cause I don't want no draft. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm just saying. See how they throw that shit on in there on you?
Right. Right.
Did you vote on that? My vote would be like no.
Mm.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to tell you, like, man, look here, bro. It's serious and it's sad because as much as we think we got some kind of say, we don't. You have say in what you do for
Right.
yourself,
But not as a
not in what's gonna govern you and rule you.
right over society as a whole.
We never have.
Oh yeah, we never had that. People may think that they do. They get the
You think
they
you
get
do?
the illusion that they do, but the government does things to us all the time that we don't know about, and we go along with it. I mean, we can talk about this forever.
Mm-hmm.
Democrat, Republican,
Mhm.
all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I always tell people they're the same side. They're the same side of. They're two different sides of the same snake.
I mean,
We always just have to figure out what side of the snake we want to grab. That's the problem that we have. I don't think that anybody in government per se, because you think about all the money that they spend to get there, to make the money that they make to be there. That the
And-
income from it does not justify the amount you spend on it.
But
You
I'm
get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you what's so funny. It's like, okay, once you get a Democrat in office, it's not like Republicans just don't exist no more. They're not doing not a damn thing. They just don't have as much power and say.
And I think that's
They still activated.
yeah. I
It
think
ain't
that's,
like they roaches or something. You got rid of them and shit. I'm just saying.
I think that's the point. That's the point, though. You hit on a point. It's not that they're gone, Democrat or Republican, when one or the other wins. It's just that some people want one to have more power than the other at a certain time, and
Which
that's
could also mean more money. What we don't even know. That's
Oh,
what
it's
I'm
definitely
talking
a lot
about.
of money
We
that
be
flows
thinking
through.
about, oh, they want the power. When power to do what? Nothing, because they haven't been doing anything. It's got to be money.
oh, it's definitely money.
Money and longevity.
It's definitely money. You think about
In the seat to keep passing on and on and on
Mhm.
for your bloodline. It might not even be got nothing to do
You-
with whether they're going to help somebody or not, whether they really going to make some move and shake. The movers and shakers are the ones out there in the street bringing the problems to folks. At least you see it because you
Right.
on that level. What you going to do behind the closed doors waiting for somebody to come in and have the floor? You ain't going to do nothing but listen to them. You don't even see what's going on. Man, I'm telling you. So let's get into some of these dystopian movies, man.
Slick
Maybe
said-
that might make
Slick said it's who controls the house that most people want to happen. Who controls it? One or the other. That's what
really
they
who
vote
got
on.
it's who got the most money, who banking who.
Mhm.
But okay, Children of Men. I remember this movie.
Okay.
It came out in 2006. That was a particular movie where it was like some infertility going on.
Mhm.
And basically, okay, so it says a chaotic world in which women have somehow become infertile. A former activist agrees to help transport a miraculously pregnant woman to a sanctuary at sea.
Mm.
Now, I ain't gonna say this. Well, hey, you know, it's some countries where they limit the amount of kids you can have anyway. We already living in that.
You gotta get approval.
That ain't nothing new.
Right.
Oh,
we ain't gonna say what country it is.
I ain't saying no countries, but I just know one exists. All right, we gonna say the 2015 movie now, because just last Monday, y'all, I talked about these robots. I talked about a police robot. But guess what I didn't mention, and I didn't say? I didn't mention the movie Chappie. This film was directed by Neil Blomkamp or whatever. All right, so this was obviously in South Africa. I like how they like to make it be overseas and stuff, like they just can't make it anywhere they want to make it. It could have been on Bankhead for all I care. We know what it was about. All right, so it was the high-tech squadron of, whoa, there go that phrase, autonomous robots, right. AI in parentheses, by the way, in response to a record high crime rate in Johannesburg. So they want to deploy the robots when the crime rate get high, y'all. Okay, and one of them uses them as a mechanized police force. But check this out. It says one of the police droids, which is Chappie, is stolen and given a new programming. Isn't that what we were talking about? Like, how will we, offset it or whatever?
Slick says that they wanted to run tests on the mom and the baby to see if they can figure out the infertility.
I give y'all another one, The Book of Eli. That was 2010, a post-apocalyptic tale in which a lone man fights his way across America in order to protect the sacred book that holds the secrets to saving
society, right?
Pretty much.
That was a good movie, though. And that movie right there was kind of like, I don't think too far off. What year was that?
That was 2010.
I know, what year was it supposed to be based out of?
Oh, we have to look that up.
I think it was like 2050.
A Brave New World in 1980, right? That's in a futuristic totalitarian society. People have no control over their roles in society or lives or destiny.
That's dystopian right there. No control over your life.
Hey, man. Oh, so think about it, though. So if you put some robots out, right, and they do all our jobs, what are we doing?
Cleaning up behind the robots.
Or having fun, right? Or whatever we supposed to be doing. Oh, see, thank you.
Not necessarily.
But they're going to sell it as you're going to have some fun.
Let's not put that lie out there.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you. But it's coming, y'all. It's coming. What else I want to do? What else I want to talk? Oh, well, wow. Well, the Clockwork Orange, that was more like psych ops to me. And we discussed that one before. Right. So, I want to get more of them that are more kind of dystopian. Even though Clockwork Orange was dystopian because of mind control, controlling your mind is what's part of a dystopian society. But, Planet of the Apes, that's how they do it primitively on you.
Think that was a dystopian society?
They have it as it.
Society has collapsed, right? And the animals start taking back over.
Didn't they perform on them animals? And but before though,
right?
Society collapsed. What did they do?
They would run a test on
okay,
trying to get them to talk.
Hey,
making
check
them
this.
Smarter.
Yeah. This one, wow. The Day the Earth Caught Fire from 1961, one of the classic apocalyptic films of its era. This film depicts the United States and the Soviet Union unwittingly testing atomic bombs at the same time, altering the Earth's axis of rotation. Now,
do you know if they change the axis of rotation, we might well just all go ahead and jump.
But just listen though. I would say both of these countries do have atomic bombs, don't they?
Right.
Okay. One of them has tested them. Both of them have probably tested them, just not at the same time.
Okay. Whoever has them tested.
Okay. So some of this stuff don't really seem that far-fetched.
Right.
Okay. I'm just,
But if you change the rotation of the Earth...
I don't think that's going to be good for anyone. I don't even think that's survivable.
That's not even survivable. I was about to say, that's not even survivable.
No. Okay. Diary of a Pig War. In a dystopian...
I've never heard of that one.
In 1975.
Ever heard of that
In a
one.
dystopian Argentina, a cult of young people has taken... to unaliving the elderly, whom they refer to as useless pigs, before long. Because you know what? They're going to deem who's important enough. You got scarce food and all this other stuff going on. So, it's going to be who's the most important. They're going to be like, hey, you've lived long enough. Right. District 9, 2009. Remember that movie?
I remember that.
Okay. An extraterrestrial race forced to live in slum-like conditions on Earth suddenly finds a kindred spirit in their biotechnology.
Right.
Who's to say they can't create beings?
Right.
Once you start dealing with AI and you start dealing with androids and flesh, you can create.
Right. They say a lot of this stuff that they supposedly inventing now, they've already had for years, from aliens landing on Earth and extraterrestrials being here and them picking them up, taking them and taking their
DNA,
not DNA, but their advances in science, their science and tech. But I don't know about that, because I believe that there probably are other people in the universe. I believe that the universe has other people in it, but I think a lot of them probably resemble us a little bit. I don't think you're gonna have any little green men out there, because there's a galaxy out there that's almost 1 million light years away that is just like our galaxy. So why wouldn't we think that some people were, evolution didn't happen in those societies as well?
Well, those would be humanoids.
Well, then they might be
say people that
humanoids.
yeah, I'm just saying.
Right.
Gattaca, 1997. This stuff going on now. That was genetic engineering, wasn't?
Right.
But see, that was before its time. With they
Gattaca, yeah.
And now you see what I'm saying. Everything, but what I found was interesting was that buddy swapped DNA to do something different.
Right.
Because you're predestined by your DNA to do whatever your life is.
And he wanted his brother had to take his place, because he was the one who was deemed to be able to do it. But he had an accident or something. He was in a wheelchair.
So let me just read what the movie is about. It says, in this biopunk dystopia, genetic engineering creates a class of superior people and an underclass of genetically inferior people called invalids in a controlled society, right? Controlled society, right? A dedicated invalid assumes the identity of a superior human in order to pursue his lifelong dream of space travel. Okay. Aren't they space traveling now?
Most definitely.
Oh, man. Damn. Man. Look here, bro.
Most definitely.
The Matrix, obviously. Dystopian film. But then they do it with cartoons like Wall-E. Centuries in the future, Earth had become toxic due to the extreme amounts of waste produced by a mega corporation. Always these corporations, bro. What I'm trying to tell you now. Okay, so what is producing the robot?
A corporation. Most definitely.
What's in all of these dystopian films?
Corporation robots and corporations control. You
in the future.
But look, what's that? We talk about sad dystopian stuff, but you got to think about Back to the Future. Have you ever saw Back to the Future? Wasn't that a dystopian society too?
V for Vendetta. They got that right. Okay, so this one says following a worldwide pandemic.
Okay.
Boom. And collapse of the state ruled by fascists. We'll say this says North Fire Party. A vigilante known only as V uses terrorist tactics to fight the oppressors of the world in which he now lives. When V saves a young woman named Evie or whatever from the secret police, he discovers an ally in his fight against England's oppressors.
Yeah, I like the V.
Bruh, I'm trying to tell you, but I look at it like, so if we can say that when we look at some of these movies and we say technology shows itself in real life, and we be like, oh, life imitate art, imitate life, and ooh, this is real and stuff. Why can't we say it for some of these things now? And we just said certain things that are going on now. Right. So you don't think that this is where they're headed with it?
Oh, they always give us little glimpses in movies to tell us where we're going. Think about movies where they had those. I can't think of the name of the movie now. Where they had phones where you could see each other on. Way back in the early '80s, late '70s, they had those movies, those futuristic movies where, shoot, we could talk about the Jetsons. Let's talk about where they were talking to each other on their TVs.
Look at these movies like The Divergence and The Hunger Games. See, that's dystopian. Though obviously that's part of this.
Right.
Actually, I didn't know this. The Fifth Element from 1987.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't know that was a dystopian
No,
society?
man, I wasn't paying attention. See, listen, it's
the 5
clicking now.
elements.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, it starts clicking when you into the future.
Uh-huh.
When you live certain amount of years and you see this,
Right.
you like, man, like they got to be headed there at some point.
One way or the other.
I mean, but see now, how fast is the question?
That's the question. How fast?
Quickly. I'm talking about super quickly, where they got something called the looper, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the looper.
Did you ever watch Loopers?
No. I saw Jumpers.
It was a movie called Loopers.
See, I didn't see that. And this is in 2070. Did you see it?
Jumpers?
Because you Looper.
Yeah.
Okay, because it say in 2074, when the mob wants to get rid of someone, the target is sent, into the past where a hired gun awaits.
Right.
Someone like, wow.
Right.
Wow. So, people from the future coming to the past to assassinate you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Mad Max's.
Mad
Those
Max
are
is
dystopian.
most definitely is one of the most dystopian ones that you can think about, because they didn't even have technology. They were so dystopian that they were fighting over gas. People controlled the gas and oil in order to cars run. They didn't have computers, TVs, or anything in that society. So that was real dystopian. You see the people on the ground eating each other and all that. So that was definitely a dystopian society.
So they have the Maze Runners, which is it says Thomas is deposited in the community of boys after his memory is erased, soon learning they're all trapped in a maze that will require him to join forces with the fellows. But see, here's the thing. A lot of dystopian society to me deals with psych. So by this time they have either desensitized you, brainwashed you, programmed you for something for that future.
Right.
Which is what we're going through. We're on like you say, it's probably gonna take a good little while.
Right.
A lot much longer. But we can see it coming. We're
we
part of
definitely
it.
can see it coming. We definitely can see it coming when you have people conspiring to control the price of food, just to stress test us to see what we will do if there's a food shortage. It's definitely coming.
Well, we just had some E. coli.
Right.
So
I think all that's stress test.
And
I believe all that's a stress test.
Because like imagine if you hit the food source, but then you hit fast food. Not like I'm really eating fast food anyway.
Right.
But that's two different.
But you remember they had the same thing with lunch meat at stores. When you go to the store and get your lunch meat sliced up to bring home to you.
But see,
then they have a wisteria.
Yeah, and in the dystopian society, they control your food. By the way, the food source.
Rations. They ration out what they're gonna give to you.
I would recommend this.
Keep pausing us, boy. We talking about
because
something.
we real with it, bro. Okay, so it's a movie called Soylent Green, and that I would recommend damn near everybody see. But Soylent Green is, man, look up that while we at it. It's about a corporation.
What is called?
Soylent Green.
Soylent Green.
And it's really where we're headed now. Like in Soylent Green, you're gonna have pretty much those that have and those that don't. The haves and the have-nots.
The haves
right?
and have-nots.
The have-nots have a particular type of food that they eat almost like a wafer.
Okay.
The haves eat decent type of food. But then it's going to be like where you're placed, like how you live. You see what I'm saying? It get to the point where damn near you might not even get a certain amount of sunlight because of the where you're displaced in society. It's serious, man, because
1973.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See?
Yeah, 1970 dystopian thriller film directed by Richard Fletcher. It starred Charleston Heston. Soylent Green. The film was released 1970. Plot. By 2022. That's supposed to be.
See, that's 1970.
And they said that by 2022.
But the reason why I said we should watch it is because some of the stuff that they predicting is first of all where we're still headed.
I'm gonna give you the ones that call this dystopian society. This is a. We need to stay here for 1 second.
I'm trying to tell you.
Soylent Green. Hey, by 2022 now, we're in 2024. The cumulative effects of overpopulation, global warming, pollution, and ecocide, leading to severe worldwide shortages of food, water, and housing, which we are having a housing crisis now, bringing human civilization to the brink of collapse. New York City has a population of 40 million, and only the elite can afford spacious apartments, which is what, see, New York right now, apartment about the size of our studio room right here runs you $15,000 to $20,000 a month to rent. So,
damn, 15 to 20,000 a month.
Most definitely.
How much they making a year up there? Your average person make about 200,000 a year?
Listen to what I'm saying now. People who only the rich can afford to live in New York City right now, today in 2024.
Where everybody living then? Where they at?
They got to move to the outskirts, or
they living with the rats?
There you go.
Oh.
Only the elite can afford spacious apartments, clean water, and natural food, and walled-off communities patrolled by armed guards.
So here's the thing. You really think that was Nostradamus that made that film? That predicted that? Like, you don't have, like, they're not predicting these things. They're making these things happen.
Their homes are fortified with moats, security systems, and bodyguards for their tenants. Usually they include combines who are referred to as furniture and having human rights are passed from.
So they got concubines. Women is furniture?
Concubines who are referred to as furniture and have no human rights and are passed from one apartment owner to the next. The majority poor live in squalor, haul water from communal spigots, and eat highly processed food wafers made by the Soylent Corporation.
Yep. So the corporation feeding
processing firm.
Okay.
Man, this what's going on now. So, I'm sorry, 2022.
I'm trying to tell you. Now, what we need to do is, you need to see what Gates and them got, if they got any food corporations.
Oh, they do. They're most definitely. I mean,
what they processing them?
You think about the social media.
Are they about to make us like eat astronaut type food?
Well, for one, we need to worry about why they're building 5,000 and 10,000 square foot homes underground. We need to worry about that part. Why are they doing that? And that not just one of them doing it. All of them have started doing it.
Well, what are they building above ground? Are they building any concentration camps? Are they building any extra facilities?
All you got to do is go find 100,000 acres somewhere, which the government owns more land than anybody, and put a fence around it.
And then just throw us over there?
Right.
What, like deer?
Yes.
Damn.
Like cattle.
That sounds like The Walking Dead. Damn near.
Herd us together like
The Walking Unalive or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, bruh.
I like that. I need to watch that Soylent.
I'm trying to tell you, like that.
I know it's 1973, but it's talking about 2022.
One of my coach put me on to that. I'm trying to tell you, like, that's what I was trying to say. Like, when you look at these movies, they put timestamps on some of them, and look how you just determine how far off they are. You see what I'm saying? And then you start understanding that ain't no coincidence,
right?
Like,
and that's not even a 50-year gap from 1973 to 2022. That wasn't like 30, or the like 29 years.
But my thing is you know they got the next 100 years worth of technology already tucked off. I'm just telling you.
Right. Oh yeah, most definitely.
So I say that to say this. If I could put myself into, let's say, the year 2130, I wouldn't know what the hell I was looking at.
They keep pausing us, man. They get on my nerve with that pausing us.
Man, they can pause all they want to. But like I said, the year 2130, I couldn't even fathom what it would be. I can tell you right now, I wouldn't even be top my podcast on this phone. Ain't gonna be, man, you know. I'd probably be at home somewhere. You think you can think and project yourself something. I don't
want to do that.
I don't either. I mean, hey, but believe it or not, they're gonna find a way to make it happen. They're gonna ease everybody into it. We already into some of this stuff, bro. Like, think about it. Like, what would we do if we could go back? Would you want the cell phone if you had a choice?
I wouldn't. I would want to go back to the easier times. When I'm around, I'm around. When I'm not, I'm not.
You see?
Right.
You see, man, like, it's certain pressure, certain stresses that we don't even know that come with this. Right. There's certain levels that get elevated with this phone on us We wouldn't even have it. We didn't have it on us, man. It's a walking time bomb the way I look at it, damn near, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it might do, man. Leak on me, whatever. It got lithium all in this shit, man. You know, man.
It already listens to us and takes our picture and reports our information whenever it can.
Yep.
So, I mean.
Yep. So, dystopian. You think we headed towards a Minority Report, which was in 2002, where like they stopped crime before while you damn near thinking about it?
Mm-hmm. That's what they want to do.
Well, think about it. Like if you're attached to your phone
and it's listening to what you're saying,
or your robot is behind you and it sees your heart rate is elevated to a point where you're gonna do something.
Then it does a citizen's arrest on you.
It zaps you,
and it waits till the police come and say, "Well, his heart rate was elevated. He was sweating and nervous, and he said something about unaliving someone." So our citizens arrested.
He cursed.
Yeah.
So we went on ahead and we did that.
Yeah.
Okay. What else do I want to look at that I say might be kind of how do we forget this? But this is more anarchy. The purges.
Oh yeah, that's more anarchy.
But it's damn near dystopian.
Yeah, that's
it's
more
people
anarchy.
trying to take control of the cell. Didn't the government allow that though?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
So people can take the stresses out and angers out for one day and not be in crime the next day. Well, let's. I know. Did you ever watch The Handmaid's Tale?
What's that? No. What? Do you clue me in on that?
That was a dystopian society.
Okay.
Basically, the women could not get pregnant, so they had people who they had women what was called handmaidens that will be surrogates for the rich folks.
Well, you just said one too, surrogate.
Right.
That's a dystopian film too.
Right.
With Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis in it, yeah. And the surrogate was the robot would go and do your job for you. And,
oh wow.
And drive. Remember that? Did you remember that? So the surrogate was. I had a surrogate. I had a surrogate.
But look how this is back in the day, bro.
Right.
And
I had
now
a surrogate that sat next to me. They would go to work for me. I would control it from home. They would go to work for me. I could see through their eyes. I can talk for them.
Wow.
But everything that I wanted to do, they would do for me. While I sat at home, I could be 400 pounds. But sending them out, they might be in shape, six-pack and everything. But I'm sending them out looking different, blue-eyed, green-eyed, whatever the case may be. But I'm at home. I look totally different from the surrogate.
Wow. Well, all I'm going to say, it's just interesting to see certain things come to life. I'm interesting, but wary.
Very wary.
You see what I'm saying? Because little did I know we were looking at a Tesla when we was looking at, like I say, Knight Rider. I'm a kid.
Right.
And I'm just looking at the little doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and the little thing go across, you know what I'm saying? It drove itself, though.
Yeah, the thing that went across was
the arrow, whatever beam, that's the blinker thing.
That was basically how it was controlled to drive around, to block. Basically, like Tesla has a little sensor in the front to keep it from hitting things and stuff. That's what that was.
Did you see the motherboard, though?
Right.
So, hey, man, quarantine.
Oh, Slick says on surrogates, the people were your avatars. They were called avatars. But
Avatar could be a dystopian movie.
Think so? Yeah. Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, I mean, a society. Anyone gonna go over there and try to take the resources and overthrow them and make them live different, I would say would be dystopian.
Yeah, most definitely. You're right.
Oh, man. Okay, so what else we got? I kind of want to do The Road, but that's based on, it was a Pulitzer Prize winning one. The Road. It was based on a man and his young son that struggled to survive after a global, cataclysm had caused an extinction event. And they scavenge supplies and avoid roaming gangs as they travel. So that's basically almost like some Lord of the Flies. When you have society turn on itself because you have lack of government. So that could be dystopian, I see. But that ain't the dystopian I'm reaching at. The Running Man, who knew, with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's definitely was one.
Yeah, but see, you kind of touched on that a little bit last week when you were saying, like, depending on, who could be presidency, you could do certain type of experiments on prisoners. On The Running Man, They had games on with the prisoners.
See?
But it was a dude that owned the corporation, though.
Right. And
that did these games. See, these corporations, bro, they taking,
So why not tax them to tax them?
No. Listen to what I'm saying. What it's showing you is this. It's showing you that money run the government.
Most definitely.
And it's also, I think,
that's always been in place.
I think the corporations are going to be run by like blue bloods.
Like king and queen type deal?
Well, not necessarily blue blood royal. Blue blood like money. Like just resource.
Well, okay. Oh, that's already happening though. That's already in place. That's not something that's, I mean, you think about Elon Musk and his support of Trump. That's $300 billion at his beck and call. Like, come on, we know that money has run government since government. Period. It's just more out in front now because people are so used to it that they don't blink an eye towards it anymore. But you think about how much money you spend to be president, which is a couple of $100 million to be a president, and then you only making what $500 or $1 million a year as on the job. Like, why would you spend that much? They had certain cars. They had cars that had cattle in it. They had cars that had that were growing things in it. They had cars that had, so the car, I mean, I don't remember how exactly long the cars were that were on that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't remember how long that train was, but it was some miles and miles and miles and miles and miles long. It wasn't no case of where it was a couple of blocks. Okay, so now I'm going out there. I'm gonna say it because I heard Kamala Harris say it, and I wanted to make a distinction between the two phrases. Population control and decrease the population. I heard decrease the population. Okay, so now with that, 2016, they had a movie called The Thinning, right? The Thinning decided to take this approach. Set in a dystopian future in which population control is enforced through a school aptitude test, those who fail are executed, and 2 high school students learn to their challenges and eventually make an ultimate sacrifice. Like, I get the tests are rigged. The tests are rigged. Okay.
Yeah. But we can go back to the They Live with Roddy Piper and them in 1988. And they had propaganda all in it too.
Right. I had subliminal messages. We get subliminal messages all the time on our phone.
Hey, check this out though. Now, see, I'm glad I'm doing this because these movies hit harder now that I'm older. And they mean more.
Right.
And if you go back and look at it, that's how you understand mind control. That's how you understand a lot of what's going on. Total Recall from 1990. First of all, they did another Total Recall with Colin Farrell.
Right, they did.
But that's considered to be dystopian.
Yes.
But my thing is, what are they doing in some of these movies? With your mind.
Right.
Then they hook things up with your brain.
Right.
I'm just saying. So, hey, what do they do when they do that? They travel through time. They go forward, backwards. They erase memory. They implant memories. All these different things, man.
It was a movie.
And what they trying to do now with Brain Gate? I don't know, man.
It was a movie recently where the person, I can't remember the name of it, but like the person would be doing things, but they actually be asleep the whole time. And it felt so real, like it was just so real that you couldn't disseminate between a dream state and being in reality. And
that sounds like Butterfly Effect almost.
No,
White Noise.
Nope. It was actually a futuristic type movie, and I can't remember the name of it. It'll come to me maybe, but I just can't remember the name of it right now.
Oh man,
what's going on, Zay the Prophet?
I'm gonna say this though. So this is interesting. This is in 1962, right? So think of how That's what I'm saying. Think of how they think dystopia is in 1962, because anytime you say dystopia, it's supposed to be projected in the future.
Right.
So in 1962, well, this was published in 1925, so they made the movie in 1962.
Okay.
So in 1925, then, the person that wrote this movie that finally got it filmed in 1962 thought about this. Imagine being put on trial, but you don't even know what the charges are. So in a dystopian future, imagine you sitting down in front of a judge and you don't even know why you're there, but you about to be judged on something. I can see some of that, something like that happening. You don't even know your infractions.
You don't even know what you did.
But you did something.
Right.
Because you're there. Interesting, man.
Or you might not didn't know.
Yeah, hey, it could just be what they thought. But, you know, could have dreamt it.
Right.
Could have been the minority report you. And be like, well, you were on, 5 weeks from now, you about to do this. So we going to go ahead and arrest you now.
Right.
And you going to be like, whoa, wait a minute.
What if I change my mind?
You don't get a chance to. Because they got your mind plugged into the phone and everything else.
Right.
Hey, man. It's going to get interesting in the years to come. That's all I'm going to say.
Right. And y'all can reflect back to this episode and be like, you know what? If we still have power then. We may not have power. We may not have any phones. They're
going to be like, Shooter and Dose was on to something, y'all. Because obviously, iRobot is a dystopian film. Now, isn't that interesting? They rolling out robots, and iRobot is one of the films.
Right.
I Am Legend is one, too.
Right.
Oh, but now, when I was looking this up, I saw this movie. And I saw this when I was young. I saw it in 1990, right? Never did it dawn upon me. These folks think they slick. I'm telling you it's going to happen. The movie Hardware.
I know.
Okay, Hardware was about, like, it was just about, picture microwaves and all this other stuff, like, activating against you. But it was about, like, what does it say? Experimental self-repairing robot in a post-apocalyptic slum. And so it was supposed to be, like, kind of like in 2000, but it was a 1980 film.
Okay.
And it was like salvage that would just, man, it's hard to explain it.
Okay.
But picture, like I say, broken down robots trying to repair themselves and attack.
I get it. Oh, you most definitely welcome, Zeta Prophet. Like we told y'all, we support them independent artists. So keep sending us them songs. We'll get them in rotation. Appreciate you.
Now, here's a weird one. Waterworld.
Now, that's definitely a dystopian society where the world is just water.
See?
That's what they're looking, in that whole movie, they're looking for land, right?
And it's a massive ice caps have melted and most of Earth's land becomes submerged. You're right. A few surviving humans who live in the big ships and artificial atolls are poor and ignorant since they have lost most of their resources as well as their technological and historical knowledge. So can you imagine the majority of this planet is water? So your technology not going to mean too much. You ain't going to plug it into nothing.
Right.
Damn. How you grow something? How you going to be a vegetarian for sure.
Right.
But you going to have a pot of something, some kind of dirt to grow something.
But where do you get the seeds from?
Fish?
Where do you get the seeds from?
You better find it while whatever's happening.
But you can't eat fish.
You can. But sushi, but you can't, you don't want to.
Slick say they find land at the end. She love Waterworld.
Okay. I mean, at some point you would have to.
Right.
You know, but how long do you have to survive in that aquatic, them, you know, the ocean that's unforgiving. Most Sharks definitely. And everything else coming at you. It ain't like it's a cakewalk now. Like,
most definitely
like
not.
You just out there and it's nothing to try to attack you now.
Can you imagine just being on water that whole for years and years and years?
I couldn't imagine what my skin would be like. All of that. You know, moisture, all of that, man. Like, you're going to have to adapt to that. You're going to be feeling like a frog or something.
Yeah. But you know they got that ship that they're trying to build. This guy trying to build this.
He's trying to build an ark?
It's like, like a football field, like a couple of football fields long. It's got shopping malls on it and everything.
I mean, ain't that the carnival? Don't they, the cruise is bigger than the cruise ship?
It's 10 times bigger than that.
Jeez, man.
And they're trying to make it to where it can stay out in the water for years.
But why would you want that?
Why would you want that? Yeah.
Like, see, all it takes is a tsunami, man.
But you know, people live on ships, though. You know, people.
Yeah, I mean, Navy, like in the Navy.
No, I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
regular
like
citizens actually
a pirate.
stay on cruise ships for years.
Hey, I don't. I'm sorry, man. I like land, man.
I like planting my foot on something.
I'm just saying. The Isle of Dogs, 2018. A young boy. Oh wow.
I ain't never heard that movie.
Okay, they basically banished dogs to an island, and so he want to go find his dog on the island. That's it. A world where you banish your dogs to an island.
No. Slick says on Waterworld, he actually morphed into webbed feet. He's on the water all the time.
I mean, I could see that possibly. I could see. See, that's the thing.
Adapting. You just said you have to adapt.
You know what? I might do an episode on man adapting on Earth, meaning like extreme circumstances can probably physically morph you. I gotta look into that because I ain't gonna say it's impossible. Because imagine if you had to live underground,
right,
for the majority of your life. What would happen when you came up? Or what would you look like? Well, it depends. Say you poked holes so you can at least
get some light.
Yeah, you know. But you would be hurt. You would still be messed up though.
The skin's gonna be pale because you're on the ground the whole time.
Something gonna happen to you.
Right.
That I do know. Or you go to an uninhabited island and try to inhabit. Or you go to an island where there's indigenous that aren't used to you, and you go over there. You know, but I wouldn't do that because that's bad for them.
That's an island like that right now.
Yeah, I know.
It's
near the Senegal.
Yeah, they don't want you over there.
I wouldn't want to be over there, but you know, because I wouldn't want to be the reason why I did something catastrophic to them, and I definitely don't want them doing nothing to me because they will do something to you.
Right. I think it's towards the coast of Australia where they tell you, do not go to that island. Do not go there.
I mean,
like they literally throw spears at planes when they fly by.
I saw in real life where someone went there.
Right.
And it didn't turn out good for them.
Right.
Whoa. I will say this. They went twice. The second time
wasn't good.
No, like you had that's what he did was he had something and he wanted to barter with them. And it was working for a particular moment because whatever he gave them, they liked it. But what he did, he wanted something and it was considered an insult. And so they wanted him to come back after he insulted them just to do something. And then when he came back, they never let him go for that.
That's when it didn't go well.
Yeah. Oh, because he wanted like, let's just say something like, I had to look it up to get exactly what it was, but let's just say like a crown or artifacts that came from their relatives, their ancestors.
Relics, right.
Yeah, relics. Like totems and stuff like that. And
that's what it was.
It was a totem.
It was a totem.
And he didn't know. And he took it. And so he came back for more. And they were like, oh, we're going to punish you for taking the first one.
Yeah, it was a totem.
Yeah, I remember a little bit of it. Yeah. And so, he was crazy enough to go back and no, sir. So we'll talk about this movie, Fears, 1980. A plague in the form of a deadly skin disease decimates Argentina's population, leaving a small group of survivors in sparsely populated. Okay, so what I've been learning about the dystopian films is multiple things can lead to the society being dystopian.
To the society collapsing.
Yeah, it could be a natural disaster, catastrophic event. But the sad thing is, most of them that I see looks like it's been created by man, or created by greed, or created by corporations, or created by technology, created by a rush to be in the future. And you know,
like we're doing right now.
We doing right now. Like you got I look at it like everybody's talking about, ooh, look at the robots, but how do you get rid of them? Meaning like throw them away. If they you can no longer use them. What happens to the environment with the robot? Where does it go? What do you do with it? The parts that go into it.
Right. What do you get the stuff?
What does it do to the environment?
Where do you get the stuff from?
Where do you get? Where do you get the resources to make these robots? Where do you get it? Exactly, because it's coming from somewhere, and you've introduced this into the environment now. You've introduced this into our life now. So guess what? Because what I've realized is interesting. Because we just said Slick just said they had what did they end up having at their feet? Web feet. Okay, so we're adapting, believe it or not, whether we know it or not, with technology.
Most definitely. We're so used to it, we can't even live without it.
Exactly. And you adapt one way or another through surgery sometimes. And through, if the doctor says, like my dad got a plate in his head. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Hey, robots got plates, don't they?
Right.
I'm just saying, man, stents. Y'all know what those are. Wires and things like that. So we've adapted with technology and future.
Most definitely.
I say this a lot talking when I talk basketball with one of my friends, and let's just say LeBron's longevity, part of that is because I remember back in the day in Achilles heel was damn near career ending. You damn near put a Band-Aid on an Achilles tear nowadays because of the medicine and the surgery that they have
to take care of it.
Yeah, they build houses in short amount of times and things like that.
Greek god Achilles. The only way you could kill him is by cutting his Achilles.
Unalive him?
No, you couldn't unalive him any other way.
With the Achilles,
without the Achilles.
Yeah, but so man, woman, and child, we're adapting. Believe it or not.
Right.
The only thing is the adaptation of what's going to be in us and on us. They've already managed to get certain things in us.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But now on us and part of us, like there's going to be times, with like amputees. Well, there's going to be a time where somebody might want to be stronger, and he's going to have two arms and just be like, you know what? I want a titanium arm. Take this arm off.
I told you about that movie we talked about last time, where that was the case, where people were actually
taking their parts off to put.
Yeah,
wow. They want to be like the Iron Man.
Yeah, like it was basically for track meet. They had stronger legs, faster legs that ran faster. So in order to be that person to be able to run faster, people were taking their legs and to replace them with robotic legs.
Well, see, nah, man. I mean, that's one thing I'll say.
Slick does have a machine in her back that the leads go up her spine that controls certain things like pain.
So my thing is ailments, deficiencies. Understand, like I'm not totally against the technology when it's for enhancing or helping you, or sometimes prolonging something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Give you that, But as far as you trying to cheat code or something, or turn yourself into some type of immortal being, or you wanna, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do what's unnecessary. Like you born with your limbs, but you want something better, so you gonna go out here and put some carbonite
to get it right. And that's what they were doing in that movie. They were having accidents. Instead of just taking it, they would have an accident where they would have to go to the hospital, and the doctor would say, well, we got to take this limb and put you a robotic limb on. You get what I'm saying?
So that's crazy. But
let me ask you a question. In Dystopian Society, we talk about things on us or in us. I believe once we get to that dystopian part, we won't have a choice to whether it's in us or on us. That's the
point. No, that's a dystopian society. You don't have choices. Right. And that's where okay, do the homeless people have a choice now to sleep out there at some point? No. Okay, I didn't vote on. I want to be able to give food to somebody and they're hungry.
Right.
Like, how can you consider yourself a politician, but you won't feed somebody that needs?
How can you feel yourself a human?
Yeah. Oh, how could you arrest someone that wants to give someone food that don't have it?
That's on both sides of the aisle, though. Both of them do that. Both of them thinks that. See, the problem is people have a false sense of security, a false narrative that homeless not being seen means they're not there. They're still there. You just don't see them because you're pushing them away, or you're arresting them, or they're going somewhere where they can get something to eat. But they're still homeless in the area. They're still homeless within the city and in the state and in the
they're displaced.
It's
just disposition that hasn't been solved.
Just because you run them off, or you tell people not to feed them, or you arrest them, doesn't mean that they're not there. They're still there. You're just trying to hide them, and that's what politicians don't understand. Democrat or Republican, that we know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
We know that they're still there. Just because you try to hide them doesn't mean that we don't think that they're still there. We know that they're there. The price of living is too high, and the price of apartments are too high for most of us who work can't afford them. When the minimum housing rent is $1,700 a month.
Mm-hmm. So I believe, like I say, in the dystopian society, everybody got to be accounted for. Mm-hmm. Like it's almost like everybody has a number. Everybody's in a particular system where
that's called the Social Security number.
You can't hide. I almost mean like a number, like a chip number type thing, you know, an identity. But you're right, your Social Security number. Mm-hmm. But you can't hide in a particular dystopian society. Everybody probably dressed the same. Mm-hmm. Everybody damn near got to get up at the same time or something, living in the same quarters.
Say me and her gonna live on Elysium.
Elysium, that's one of them too, though.
Right.
You know, by then, like I say, when that kick in, I ain't, you know.
Right, it's too late. Huh?
Yeah, it is. But the Terminator, these movies they have are dystopian.
Right.
And that's like the future, and it's now, and it's the past. Like the Terminator give you 3 different tenses. You in the past, present, and you don't know which future you gonna be the slave in, but you know it's there.
Right, you in the past, present,
and the future. Yeah. It's all dystopian. That's all I'm saying. Damn it, like dystopian 24/7 all the way around this thing. But you know, one thing that I don't see in the dystopian is religion. I don't see happiness.
Happiness is one of the things.
I don't see unity, because just because everybody's together in a line doing the same thing, that doesn't mean they're unified doing it.
Right.
It means they kind of have to.
They're just robotic.
Yeah, like cattle don't look unified. They just look like somebody stuck them together.
Right.
You know, we're here because we gotta be. We're not here because we want to be. You know, here because we need to be. Here because we got a purpose.
Right.
Let's not forget all of those black body bags and coffins and things that was trending years ago.
Right.
That we saw online.
Right.
Didn't nobody make that for nothing.
Right.
I don't know if they used them yet or not, or they got a plan on using them.
Right.
But they there. I mean, I don't want to be so strung out on the voting process that you either usher in your demise or you overlook your demise. Like I said, when we casting these votes and you say, the corporations are going to be taxed, see what these corporations that they tax and make, and what they make, what does it do? How does what they make affect us? Because at some point it ain't gonna matter, because like I said, if they making the processed food that we're gonna have to eat, you're not gonna tax them. You know. And people can say they're gonna do something. Are we literally there looking at it?
Right.
How do I know you taxing them? One way we knew we were getting something, we got stimulus.
No reports.
Yeah, like Kamala gonna send us them reports and let us know. You know, that ain't finna happen. You know, and okay, so how do we benefit from the tax?
Well, I think that the purpose of is to try to make things better. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be that way. People say tax and untaxed. I mean, you even think about, we talk about Kamala, but you talk about Trump saying that the money's going to trickle down. He's going to give the higher elites tax cut, and that should trickle down. But they've already tried that when Reagan was in office. They already tried that when Bush was in office. Nobody trickles down there. If you're giving me more money, I'm not going to trickle it down.
Just trickle a wage down, and we don't care nothing about no tax. Tax the hell out of me if you're going to give me more money. That's how it works.
Right.
You make more money, you can tax me more. Right. I ain't going to complain.
They're not going to pay.
Give everybody $5 extra on their wage, $10 extra on their wage.
Crazy. That's going to close down the corporation.
How?
Slick says that they blame coke for plastic in the ocean, because a lot of people says that if you raise the wages, that it's going to the corporations won't be able to handle all the people getting raise increases. Don't ask me how.
No. Because guess what?
Even they said McDonald's wouldn't be able to handle.
Man, that's BS.
And I'm going to tell you that it is BS. Know how I'm going to tell you that?
But we triggered the spin. We're gonna spend it, spend it.
Because
Right
McDonald's
back
made
with 'em.
$6.8 billion in the third quarter, 3 months.
Everybody eat McDonald's, man.
Right.
Nobody's
That's why they came out
stopping.
with the chicken Mac.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, a chicken Big Mac, exactly, man.
Ew.
More ways to make your man. Man, look here, man.
Right.
Look. I don't understand how people just buy that type of shit, bro. Like, but they do, and it's selling. It's selling
too.
It's selling like, you know. We just headed there, bro. Cause now that you just mentioned that, just some of the stuff that we buy and we eat, some of the stuff that we willingly go buy. We gonna moonwalk into the dystopia, y'all.
Right.
And that's the thing. Money, I ain't seen money in the dystopian society.
Nah.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. I haven't seen it. So get ready. But what will we do without money? But think about it. Think about it now. I think the robots gonna slowly but surely start making money mean nothing. Because it's gonna take jobs.
In the grand scheme of things,
You gotta buy the robot.
a lot of things don't. A lot of things where we talk about money, I don't think it means as much as we think it do, especially not paper.
Yeah.
Now, electronic money,
Cash,
most
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, bitcoins and all that's gonna start rising even
Right,
more.
right.
Will skyrocket.
That's why the Treasury wanted to be a part of it.
But not only that,
they're starting their own Bitcoin. You know that, right?
well, look at it like
Treasury
this.
Department,
Oh my God.
and that's why they want to be able to see what Cash App is doing. They want to see
Yeah,
what
yeah,
Apple
yeah,
Pay
yeah.
is doing. They want to see what all of our money is going, so they can control.
But
that
check it out.
And tax.
Guess what they doing? Let me tell you what the experiment is. The experiment are these little apps like how you spend money on these games
Mm-hmm.
and you making transactions. Ain't no cash being gambling games,
Mm-hmm.
fantasy league games. All that is legalized gambling, but it's transactions.
Mm-hmm.
Make it fun first.
Right.
Then just take the money out. See what I'm saying? Make it fun first.
So they
Put
can-
it in the form of a
so they can
game,
make the
and they don't
infrastructure
understand. They
for
be
it
sensitive.
So you can know how to get the
Shits and
courts
giggles.
stuff out of it.
Yeah,
And be
yeah.
like,
Wait till
okay.
they stop. Wait till the games and the apps are gone now,
Mhm.
and it's just all digitized money, and you don't get to play no games. You don't get to gamble. You don't get the fantasy football. Nothing.
Right.
But your money, you never touch it. Then it's not gonna be fun no more. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? But I'm just saying.
Or they decide to take your money, like allegedly Wells Fargo did to the young lady. They took her money and closed her account, and she didn't even know nothing about it.
So check this out. When they take your when there's no more cash, all money is gonna be online, right?
Electronic, yeah.
So what happens when you don't get a signal? What happens when your car?
But you know that's what they were afraid of in 2000 when they said that 2000 then they said the calendar was going to turn over to 000, that the money was going to go back to 1900 value.
So you know how they're gonna solve your worries. Oh, if you don't want to worry about having a signal,
Right.
let's get a computer chip in you, sir. You'll never have to worry about a signal anymore.
Right. Your money
you
is
got
right
your
there in your
chip.
hand.
Just put your chip out there for me.
Right.
And I'm gonna be like, I'll take the no signal, sir. But guess what? You ain't even gonna be able to eat. That
Right.
hunger gonna be something.
Right.
And then that health care gonna be something. That's how they gonna get you.
Yeah.
You gotta eat.
Gotta eat.
Gotta eat. And you gotta be taken care of
Mm-hmm.
at some point. Now, guess what I don't hardly see in this dystopian society? The elderly.
No, there's some. I've seen some of these movies.
Some.
I've seen
You said some, though.
Yeah.
Damn, how many of them you see now? A lot. They see them every day
I'm
now.
just saying, like, I don't see the dystopian society is not depleted of them.
It's not depleted of them, but it damn sure ain't geared for them.
Most definitely.
Do you see hospitals in these dystopian movies?
No. And now,
So what's up with people's health?
They're so overrun and so under budget, and so they don't have any tools to help you with that. It doesn't matter in these movies.
So that lets me know that something.
Slick said it's gonna be plant based or 3D printed food.
Damn,
But
Slick.
they already tried. They already tested you with.
How you gonna eat food that's printed? What are you eating? Ink?
They've already they've already tested. The
What are they
plant-based
printing
part.
it with? Because if they're not printing it with soy, how you eating it?
They gonna print it with soy.
You for real?
Yeah.
Man, come on,
They've
man.
already- they
Now
gonna-
I don't want to eat it.
They're gonna print it with tofu and soy. But they've already tested the plant-based part when they gave us Beyond Meat. They want to see what we'd be able to take.
What is that?
Exactly.
I don't eat Beyond Meat. Where you get that at?
Oh, Burger King sells it.
Oh, I don't eat that. Man, why would I eat fast food plant?
I'm just saying.
Man, bruh, if I'm not gonna eat the meat, I'm not, man, dude, that ain't nothing. I'm like, can you pronounce all the chemicals this is right here?
Right.
I had to explain to somebody. I'm gonna tell y'all this now. I work in the pharmacy department, and I'm gonna tell you once again. I keep saying it. There's a difference between drugs and chemicals. These chemicals that you guys are eating in this food are not in the pharmacy department. And if y'all think pharmaceutical drugs are bad, what the hell it is you think you eating that ain't even in the pharmacy department?
Right.
What you eating is a chemical equation. So in other words, it's the same stuff that they can put in rat poison. They take a molecule from it and put it in some food and be like, well, it ain't in rat poison.
You're right.
But you can eat it.
See, you getting paused on that one.
Well, look here, man.
They paused you on that.
Of
You
course,
talking too much.
man, look here. I'm almost at the end of it anyway, man. So, y'all can pause me towards the end. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. My people got to understand this. we going to learn today. I'm going to get it all out. When I go up in the blaze, I'm leaving it all out there for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I ain't leaving no stone unturned. Y'all wait till I start getting all my X-Files. And y'all wait till I really want to go down the rabbit hole on y'all. I just been baby feeding y'all with this.
Spoon feed.
Baby food, spoon feeding, and all of that with these conspiracy theories. That's what I really wanted to get at. But I'm going to save y'all. I ain't going to get into it that much today. But a dystopian society really is not a conspiracy theory anyway. So, but some of the conspiracy theories I would say would be revealed in this society, y'all. But, all right. So on that note, man, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all have it a little bit. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. I appreciate everyone for voting. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm never going to be one to discourage y'all from whatever y'all want to do. I'm just going to say, man, hold these politicians accountable. And once again, like I say, I want to see some actual things that we vote for come into play in 2025. Because I know what we didn't vote for, and that's already in play, and it's 2024. So with that being said, I'm going to catch y'all next week. Y'all appreciate it. We dosed up. We up out this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Grams leaders CCs, pounds. Close cash, close call, close encounter, close up, pounds of leaders of grams, get your dosed up, cut this up, host up, and get dosed up. This for them voted like the movement, make the most of. Monday night at 8, I can't wait to set you straight. These opinions and debates for them folk that can't relate. I got to elevate your mind through these signs of the time. Dishing out that medication for the deaf, dumb and blind. And I ain't hard to find, you can catch me in no trenches. I do the groundwork and I ain't waiting on no sense. I be touching on them topics politicians fail to mention. And I don't vote for nobody that ain't got good intentions. I'm relentless for my people and I'm here to make a change. I got that true serum hooked directly to your vein. Hey, this is for my people, tune in.